we have been working really hard on volcano projects, so I have volunteers here to tell you all about them.
Welcome to the world of volcanoes. First, we will tell you about the three different types of volcanoes, which are shield, composite, and silica. Shield volcanoes are the biggest volcanoes in the world. When volcanoes explode, it creates new land and Earth's surface.
We created our volcanoes by taking a piece of cardboard and a plastic bottle and gluing the plastic water bottle onto the cardboard.
Now we are having a nice structure, and we got newspaper and cut it up into strips and mixed flour and water. Next we put the strips into it, and then we painted our volcano to look like a real volcano.
Some facts about volcanoes are Yellowstone. Under Yellowstone, there is a really big volcano that is bigger than Yellowstone.
The next fact is the Ring of Fire. It has the most volcanoes in the ocean, and it is surrounded by volcanoes.
The third fact is Mauna Loa is the biggest active volcano in the world. Lastly, our fourth volcano in the world. Lastly, our fourth fact is that Mount Vesuvius is the volcano that blew up Pompeii. Guess what?
It is 79 years old, and it still active to this day. To wrap it all up, we will tell a volcano joke. What is the most dangerous type of relay in the world? The Ring of Fire.
Thank you for collaborating with us.
And then if you wanted to come and see their volcanoes, you may move over to see them. They're very
Yeah, and I got the dumplings. Yeah, consider dumplings super rare. And if you get the like
He said 5 of them.
yeah, if you put it in the sun, and then you just when it's dark, it'll go in the dark.
Mother's Day. The lights coming up. Yeah. My daughter was 18 pounds a year. It's so cute. Got all the rolls in. My youngest did. And Peter did as well. My oldest did not see his skin. Next to each other, like a little tiny skinny thing, and she kept all her daughter. Back then, yeah. I'm like, no, yeah. Our youngest, I mean, my oldest does not have that. She's still a small. Yeah. But Peter had it on. And then my youngest one, she got
So now that everybody's had a chance to see the volcanoes, we wanted to thank the fourth grade. You guys did an awesome job. Now we have 15 minutes for public input. If anybody has, I have a microphone over here.
I'm not using the microphone. I really wanted to come to last month's meeting, but I missed it because it was the second day. Yeah. On March 11th, the board did not have second members for either the finance or the budget committee. You guys adjourned that meeting, appointed nobody volunteered other than Sierra, thank you for that. Yet the budget seems to be the school board's #1 issue. It's pretty standard on all the other boards to have 2 members. I'm wondering why that you did not force the issue, draw names. I believe it's board member duty and an expectation of the taxpayers that all board members know about the financials, considering it's the biggest budget in town, $6 million. Perhaps maybe the finance committee could be moved to the public meeting where there would be 5 members that would be able to add their input. But since you're all compensated for this, I really ask that if nobody wants to volunteer, that you might consider that this not being the board that you should be part of. Just my 2 cents. Thank you. Tracy Donovan, Model.
Okay. Is there any other public input?
Is this a public session? Are they asking for opinions? Yes.
Yes, my name's Dave Crow. I'm one of the Middleton bus drivers. About 2 years ago, I started talking to the chairman of the board, school board, as far as getting a raise for the bus drivers. And that was put off the first year, the second year, that got put under the table. Now, I met this past October prior to the budget committee meeting and had inquired about the raise again for the bus drivers. So, they set up a meeting with the bus drivers over at the old town hall, and Rebecca said that they're gonna have a committee put together to work things out for the bus drivers as far as the pay. So recently, I did take and send an email over to Rebecca and asked her if she saw the contract, because I got a contract from the SAU to sign, and there was no pay increase. It showed the same amount of money that I made last year to drive a 40-foot vehicle with 50 some odd children on it that I'm responsible for. I'm getting paid $20.21 an hour. People at McDonald's are making that amount of money. Now, I wanted to find out what happened with the committee meeting. What results did they get as far as the meeting that they had?
Since Rebecca's not here, I have to hold on. Okay, and that was, is there anybody else?
Hi?
Okay. We're gonna have to wait for Rebecca to answer the question. Okay, go ahead, Dawn.
Can I ask where Kathy Lane has been? I have not seen her here for at least 3 meetings.
Do you want me to answer it? Kathy has submitted her resignation, and she was effective yesterday or today, Friday. So they will be looking for somebody new.
Thank you.
Who's doing her work in the interim?
She's still in the office until Friday, and we're replacing her position. We're filling her position.
So you already have somebody.
We do not already have somebody, but
In the interim, who's doing her
in the
position?
interim, it's accounts payable, it's the HR coordinator, it's the payroll coordinator, it's the transportation coordinator, it's myself, it's the assistant superintendent. We're picking up those responsibilities until we fill the position.
So if the budget committee has questions, are we going to get answers?
As always, I think the board has that process in place.
So she hasn't even looked yet, so.
Which is on Friday.
I know, but her resignation was submitted last week, so. Is there anything else? Okay. Responses to public input question from last time. How many children were registered for kindergarten for the 2026-2027 school year? 17. How much of the special education trust fund withdrawal had been used? There are invoices totaling $132,183.50. The request will be made, another request will be made at this meeting. Why have contracted school board services been overspent in the budget year today? This line, 2.8, this line includes the E-rate contract for $2,000 and the balance for all the criminal records checks for the new employee hires and volunteers for chaperoning field trips. It also includes the voting costs for Senate Bill 2. Agenda review, is there anything else? Okay. All right. We're going to do the acceptance of minutes from April Okay. The next thing is the superintendent's report, so.
Thank you very much. First, we'll do Middleton Elementary School update.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. I, again, have a lot to update people about. And this is not in chronological order, so bear with me, please. MES Marathon Monday took place on April 20th, and it was a huge success. Our students participated during their specials blocks. Collectively, they completed 9 marathons around the school. In addition, our Alpaca Pals fundraised over $1,600 and purchased for us new soccer nets and the tetherball set. We have a community volunteer who's going to help us install this soon, so we're really excited about some playground upgrades. Our SAS testing is 75% of the way done, and I'm really proud of how our students are doing so far. Testers are taking the assessment seriously, slowing down, and I appreciate all the hard work that goes into preparing students for success on these assessments, and that does include our parents who get kids ready and excited for the test, and a good night's sleep and a good breakfast. We held our school-wide spelling bee on April 24th, and we'll be sending winners Camden Ferguson, Maddox Posiak, and Riley Hayes to compete at the district spelling bee on this Friday. Well done to everyone who competed, and a big thank you to the staff who helped make this happen. Our Staff Appreciation Week was really incredible this year, with lots of support from the school board, our community, and our Alpaca Pals PTA. You can really feel the love in the building each day, and I'm really thankful to work with such a focused and dedicated staff. I wanted to update our community on the SAFE grant. Our new cameras are installed and working, and I'm pleased to say that our walkie-talkie upgrades will be in next week. This $67,000 grant has provided us with a significant safety upgrade, and I'm really hoping that all work will be completed soon. Our MES Running Club had its first day today. Over 30 students have signed up for a healthy activity after school, and this is supported by several staff members, so we're excited to offer that. Students in our lower grades will be focusing on trees in their library class this month, as we have received a grant from the New Hampshire Department of Natural and Cultural Resources for 2 trees to be planted in the playground area. Those trees will be planted on May 22nd, and we are excited to dig some very large holes and have kids help us with that planting process. Thank you to the Wakefield Lions Club for hosting a story walk along our playground over our April vacation and providing us some slow down Middleton signs to put out on roadways. Those are right here if community members want to take one to post in their yard near the road. We have in the works a bike to school day, and we're hoping to have signs out before that bike to school day so that kids and cars going by all remember about road safety. Coming up, we have an MES talent show to look forward to in June and another school dance at the end of this month. A reminder that tomorrow night is our MES Arts Night, featuring our band and chorus students as well as our from grade levels. You can see some of the decorations up in the hallway now. We can't wait to see you at 5:30 tomorrow night. Just 2 more. Our first Tiny Tots play group was a success. That was held last Saturday. We had a couple, maybe 5 or so families, and many herd members came, a couple of staff members to support them as well, to support some early childhood connections on the playground and in our gym. Our next date is, I believe, June 9th. 13th. And you can check our Facebook page for a poster on that. We also held a career fair on last Friday for our 6th graders, organized by Mrs. Robbins, with a whole bunch of exciting careers for 6th graders on display. We had emergency management services, child care, some engineering and STEM careers, and a whole bunch of others with lots of hands-on opportunities for our kids to learn about careers as they transition to middle school. So it's been a really busy month at Middleton. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions about the elementary report? Shall I continue? Okay, great, thank you. The next item on the agenda are the general assurances. So this is the document that's required to be on the agenda for school boards each year at this time, so that the board can vote to approve the assurances. This is a document that we have to apply to all federal grant applications in the grant management system. That's a requirement of the state. So I would ask for a vote to authorize Kelly Tidman to sign as acting board chair. item on the superintendent's report are photocopier bids. So I do have a memo from Kathy O, her recommendation after we received the bids. So we have results regarding the recent copier printer bid results through SPC for the district's next 5-year lease agreement. This lease structure continues to provide cost savings to the district while ensuring reliable and efficient copier and printer services. We have partnered with SPC since 2005 and has consistently benefited from their cooperative bidding model. SPC facilitates competitive bids for numerous school districts across New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine. SPC currently has districts in need of copier printer services grouped together through a consortium-style process, which strengthens purchasing power and helps secure the most competitive lease pricing available. This bid brought in multiple responses from SimQuest, Toshiba, and Ricoh. The bid results reflect this continued value, offering the district favorable pricing and ongoing savings compared to procuring these services independently. Based on the results and the district's long-standing positive experience with SPC, this lease arrangement continues to be in the district's best financial interest. Ricoh is currently the brand in the school district, and they came in at the best bid price, which is more than $2,000 less per year. So we have the results and the proposed motions that the board will need to take action on in order to move forward with this recommendation to award the bid to Ricoh. This bid with Ricoh will save the district approximately $400 per year for a total of $2,000 over the course of the next 5 years. And you can see on the last page of the bids, we need both of these motions to move forward with Ricoh.
schedule for the annual percentage rate, it has 5.066%, but in the motion it has 5.09, so I just want to.
Where do you see that?
It's on.
board approve the proposed tax exempt lease with MST Government Leasing LLC for the purposes of refinancing and funding photocopy equipment leases, including consultant fees and related costs of issuances of such leases in an amount not to exceed $17,918.58 and an interest rate of 5.09% per year through August 1, 2031.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
I will make another motion to move that the board authorizes the superintendent to execute and deliver the tax exempt lease with MST Government Leasing LLC on such terms and conditions discussed and provided to the board and to execute and deliver any such documents required to execute the contract with Specialized Purchasing Consultants Incorporated.
Second. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Thank you. And then it's just financials. Questions? That I can answer, or we'll take them back and get the answers. I can do whatever you want. Okay, so as of April 30th, 2026, the district has expended approximately $4,135,709 of the $5,563,503 adjusted budget, leaving a remaining balance of $1,427,794, or approximately 25.7% of the total budget. The district is operating slightly over projected spending by approximately 2.21% when compared to the anticipated budget at this point in the fiscal year. So overall, we are in line with projections. In regular education, special education continues to require close attention. The special ed trust will see a $200,000 withdrawal for the additional costs that the board approved. Operational and maintenance, we have an unanticipated capital expense related to the replacement of the water tank. So we requested a withdrawal from the trust fund to cover the cost. The transportation and technology, acceptable ranges. So we continue to monitor all the areas in the budget.
Does anyone have any questions? Is tuition slightly up because we have certain monthly, or is it
Paying out for out-of-district tuition?
No, it says tuition for regular programs is trending higher than anticipated, contributing to costs.
So for regular education, that would be tuition for students grades 7 through 12.
Right, yeah. So do we have more kids?
That if it's trending higher, then that's what would be higher enrollment.
Okay, Sierra?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're good. So the next thing says 2027 adjusted budget, and I'm supposed to turn it over to Ivy for this.
We have a solution proposal for the board.
So thank you. So we had not yet voted on 2 areas where we could reduce. Those areas were the nurse position and the head custodian position. We need to reduce total of $132,497. The proposal the news that I have for us to consider are as following. We are hoping to bring personnel to the board that would cost less. So due to personnel changes, we're looking at a potential savings of approximately $20,000 for the nurse that we want to hire for what was budgeted for last year, or for this coming year. We are also looking at a potential staffing change that would free up another $35,000 over what was budgeted for this coming school year. So that total is $55,000, and if you look at the reduction needed, that reduction needed minus the head custodian savings would give us enough money to fund that nurse position at full time.
So we don't need to ask. So our ask of the board at this point is to maintain the nurse position. We have the nurse position in the budget. If you agree with this proposal, you can just leave the nurse position as is, no changes needed, because it exists as a full-time position. But still make a motion to make the change that we proposed for the custodians. So we propose to eliminate the head custodian position and replace with a part-time position, 50%. So that we could have a savings of $76,000. And Principal Livett Carlson has created a schedule for the part-time and the full-time custodians, so there won't be a gap. One coming in a little earlier, one starting before school, leaving, and the other one, the full-time coming in a little earlier. So then it extends beyond school day to cover the cleaning needs after the school day. So we would just be looking for a motion regarding the custodian. We're happy to have any discussion or answer any questions.
If the head custodian position is reduced at 50%, would that person still remain the head custodian?
You would apply to apply to get the new position.
Well, we would want a 50% just regular custodian, not a head custodian, which is a different rate. So it would be a motion to eliminate the full-time head custodian position and create a part-time regular custodian position.
I'll make a motion to eliminate the head custodian position and replace with a part-time position. I'll second the motion.
Do you think that would fill our needs?
I think we could live by for a year.
Yes. And then next year, would the proposal be to bring it back to what it was?
Can
I think what's important to remember is that by going to the below default budget of $6 million, we're cutting in a lot of places and we're going to be very tight for a year. So in terms of needs for next year, I would say there is a challenge in that there are no support staff raises built into the budget, and there are challenges in other areas as well with the things that we've chosen to cut that we would definitely need back. We'll need chairs at some point. We'll need library budget. So I can't speak to bring that back to full-time because I think there's got to be a lot of conversations about how to make this sustainable. So this solution we can hold up the walls for a year, but I don't know that this is a long-term solution at all.
All right, should we take a vote? All right, all in favor? You're opposed? Okay. So, 2-1. All right, Sam, we got to the child care after school program. Rebecca's still not here yet.
Did you want to talk about what you saw, or should I talk about the survey first?
You can have a survey, right?
I'm just going to keep doing this.
So I put out a survey to families associated with Middleton Elementary School about the need for morning and afternoon care beyond the school day. And so in the packet, I have, I think, 5 or so questions. When we looked at would you be interested in enrolling your student at MES offered a morning program, 42.9% of people, respondents, there were 35 respondents, said yes. And about a quarter said maybe depending on the cost. Most people would need morning program care starting between 6:30 and 7. When I asked the question of would you be interested in enrolling your student at MES offered an after-school child care program, the overwhelming majority said yes, almost 60%, with another quarter saying maybe depending on cost. And the vast majority of respondents indicated that they would ideally like for it to go until 5 p.m. We asked about a summer program as well. People are interested in that. I do not think it is feasible to get that off the ground in a month, but that may be some planning for the future. And then the program that some board members had a chance to visit asked us to ask about what is the most important thing to your family when considering extended day programming. Safety being the largest with just over 25%, followed by pricing. So from that, I would say that there is definitely a strong interest among Middleton families. I probably got about a third of families responding to this for especially aftercare, but possibly morning program as well.
Rebecca and I had the opportunity to go and check out a program that they're hosting at Northwood, and I have to say, personally, I was very impressed. I thought it was really amazing. They provide everything for the students themselves. They bring everything in. They set it all up. They provide snacks for the students. There's a homework station, so if students need extra help, they'll sit with them and do it, and it also gives the students an opportunity to do it at school before they go home at the end of the day. They also have different stations throughout, a STEM station, reading stations, various other activities available. They go outside daily. They also provide like weekly newsletters so that families can see what they've done throughout the week before and after school. As well as there's a bulletin board that shows, you know, what the snack schedule looks like for the week. They provide all the snacks. And they also, if there's incidents or anything that is going on that parents need to be made aware of, it's kind of like a daycare where you get like a slip that says, you know, what happens, so they'll give that to the families. And I just thought it was a really great program. They began in Northwood, I believe, in 2019, and they were able to stay open through COVID with only a couple children, but those families were essential workers, so they needed the care, and they were able to continue throughout the entire time. I thought it was really great.
So what are they looking for from us?
The only thing, my understanding is that they just need space. And they will do everything else. The cost seemed relatively low, actually. Let's see if I can. So if we were looking to begin a summer care program, so they have a pricing chart here, so pricing per week. And it's very flexible too, so you're not locked in any one week. So if you need before or after school care, you're not locked into Monday through Friday. You can pick and choose. They just ask that you let them know a week ahead of time what your schedule is going to look like the following. So if families need to make changes because of different things going on at work, they could. So for the summer program, 1 to 2 days, it was $100, 3 days, $155, 4 days, $190, and 5 days, $235. I don't have the rates for the before and after care program. They said that they're also willing to come in during school vacation weeks, so spring break or winter break, they're possibly able to come in, and they're very flexible when it comes to bad weather as well. If the school is open to it, they're willing to come, even if it's only for an hour, to give families a little extra time to get home on early days because of bad weather.
So are we supposed to motion to allow them to come in, or are we waiting until next month, or what are we looking to do?
I may correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they said they would need to know by the end of the month, just so that they can start preparing and getting staff ready.
And I want to add something to that too.
So it's my understanding from the communication, you have a lot more of the information than I do, that if we have a minimum of 8 or the equivalent of 8 full-time students and a minimum of or the equivalent of 16 aftercare students, there is no cost to the district. So the contract is provided families are interested. We don't have to, there's no cost to the district at all. It would be borne by families who are interested in it. So that is my understanding, and that's what you would be agreeing to, is that we would be able to come up with that. And they understand that it can take a little while to build capacity.
They did mention at one point that teachers, if they were interested, they could apply, and also, they could work here after school to make extra money through their company, opposed to getting paid through the district.
if we vote to do it, and then they don't get the maximum capacity number of kids, then did they just not do it?
I believe that they would still do it. They mentioned that when they first started in Northwood, I think we only had 4 kids in the morning, and now it's grown to 30.
But if we don't have like a minimum number to make it so that it's no cost to the district, what would the cost be to the district?
I don't know.
That was kind of a question.
They did mention that they'd be willing to come in for an information session as well, so families could ask questions and we can get more information about that pricing. Rebecca might have that information, but I don't think we have that here. Can you take your question?
All right, go ahead.
What about custodian? Would you need a custodian for it? And what about a nurse? Would you have to ask that as well?
This would not be our program.
But like, when the rep has to rent the place, we have to have a custodian here.
There would be a custodian in the building because with the proposal I have, I'm still looking to staff the building between 6 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. So that will already be there. The nursing is something that that company would be liable for. Yep.
What about delayed openings? Are they gonna come early and stay here until school goes in for morning shift?
It did sound very flexible on that they would come in early even on delays, because they did mention that they would stay after school and we had to close early because of that weather, so I do believe that they would. I can't promise that, I'm not positive.
So, I'm,
And what about the days that school gets out early because of the storm?
That is when they did say that if the school was willing for them to come, that they would come in still, even if it was only for an hour, to give families a little extra time to get home to get their children.
And is the plowing done during the storm out there so people can get in and out safely on the sidewalks and stuff? That happens?
Yes. I believe so. So we have to maintain when there's a storm, we have to maintain safety in the building. We hire someone to come in and do the plowing, so I think sometimes we're last in line if they know school is closed.
So then they would come and clean the sidewalks off
We
and
do
plow
that.
while the kids are here.
Our custodians do that.
so, I'm really hesitant to vote on this if we don't know what would happen if we don't get enough people to.
It sounds like you need a first session.
Yeah. So,
Just have one board member working.
yeah. But the question is, if they need to know by the end of May, I was gonna say, do we? Yes.
It's 90 days ahead to sign the contract, so we would have to know by May in order to be ready to go for the start of the school year.
Before we finish it.
I know, what do you think?
I'm not comfortable voting for that without knowing what it would cost us if we don't have that here. It's not our first time on the same house, the budget we have.
I agree. All right, Joe, go ahead.
I know it's probably not public input, like, so I'm a little hard of hearing, so you guys are, like, I'm getting bits and pieces of how this is going, but is this gonna be, before and after, whatever, by teachers, faculty? Is it gonna be by parents? Is it outside resources, like another company coming in and doing it?
It's another company, yeah.
Yes, they're called Champions.
Excuse me, what?
Champion, another company.
Another company, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Well, I agree with Sierra, though. I don't want to vote without that information. So,
Could we vote to hold an information session and then maybe schedule a special meeting to vote? I don't know. Is necessary?
Could hold an information session and then decide at that time for students. You could also vote at your June meeting and, knowing that if you vote to have it start, it just wouldn't start the first week of school. I think that's okay to have it start after Labor Day.
You guys are all killing me because I'm not supposed to be taking questions. But, alright, only you and no more, okay? Alright, Romy, and
That's not
Joe.
okay, Kelly. That's really not.
I'm
It
sorry.
needs to be across the board, every meeting, you lock down public comment, and I agree, people should be able to raise their hand. But to say no more is not okay. Anybody in this room should be able to speak if they're raising their hand. You've allowed it.
I know,
You've
and
allowed it.
since-
So let me continue it for at least the rest of the meeting.
Suggestion could be, I think it was $235 for 5 days for a student.
Yeah, that was for summer.
For summer, okay. Did we have the information for during the school year?
I don't have those numbers for some reason. I believe Rebecca has that information.
My off the napkin math would have been, okay, how many is 8 students required? What's the cost for that for 5 days? That could be what at most the school could be liable for, the district could be liable for. But,
Okay. This program, has this been put out to bid by others than that one company?
No, so, it is my understanding that they, from Rebecca, that they reached out to us directly. So we have not heard from any other company.
Well, if they're a business and they're gonna be a contractor for the school, okay, you should probably get others to bid, get the best rates possible. Number 2 is, why aren't they here doing a presentation to present their programs to have the answers? I mean, I wouldn't make a decision to get everybody in here satisfied. I'm not opposed to it, but at the same token, I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions. So, I mean, invite them into your next meeting and they do a presentation what they're gonna offer. If you have others that wanna do that, you should do the same thing. Really.
Well, we also agree that there's a lot of unanswered questions, so, we can have an information session, but, yeah, we're gonna have to wait until the, okay. Now we're doing academic affairs, sorry,
Okay, please bear with me. We have 40 policies that we are recommending, oh, I'm sorry. 40 policies altogether, some of which we are recommending for adoption for a second read, and many, I believe 27 that we are recommending for withdrawal for a second read. So the policies that we are recommending for adoption are EBCE, emergency school and district closings, EEAA, video and audio surveillance on school property, EEAG, use of private vehicles to transport students, JICC, student conduct on buses, JJF, student activities fund management, recommended for revision for second read, EEA, board organizational meeting, EG, board policy process, EBCC, bomb threats, ECA, building inspections, ECAF, video and audio surveillance on school property, EEA, transportation services, EEAF, special uses of school buses, JICI, weapons on school property, recommended for withdrawal for the second read, AEB, recognition for accomplishment, BEE, board officers, BDF, board advisory committees, BE, CF, school building administration, CFA, school administrative personnel, DIAA, student activities fund management, EA, support services school, EBCAP, emergency shelter, EBCE, delayed openings, emergency closings, EC, buildings, ground, property management, ECAA, buildings, ground, security, ECCA, annual fire extinguisher inspection, EEA, bus driver drug-free policy, EEAFA, school-related trips, EEBB, use of private vehicles to transport students, GDAA, sexual harassment and sexual violence, GDED, tobacco, e-cigarette products, and use and possession in and on school facilities and grounds, JDAA, sexual harassment and sexual violence, JPA, student electronic communications, JHD, student absences and truancy, JHDB, attendance policy on days designated as remote learning days, and JICG, tobacco, e-cigarette products, ban use and possession in and on school facilities and grounds. Any questions?
Can I make a blanket motion on all of those? Sure. Sure. Alright. I make a motion that we take care of all of those policies at once. I have a second motion. Alright. Anything scary? Huh? Are you all good? Yeah. Okay. All in favor? Aye. Is there any finance committee update? Okay. Sam, is there anything for community relations?
I do have a question about the finance committee. Like, I'm the only one on it right now. I'm not exactly sure what the expectation for the finance committee actually is. I know I go to the budget committee meetings, so that's basically the extent. So I'm not really sure what it is that you're looking for me to do.
So I can share what the responsibilities have been. So we created the Finance Committee and the Academic Affairs Committee at the beginning of this school year as a way to be liaisons. So the Finance Committee is the liaison between the Budget Committee and the school board. The Finance Committee would attend Budget Committee meetings and report back to the school board. Sometimes that's via email in between meetings, but also at this agenda item during the school board meeting, you could provide an update. You went to a budget committee meeting, here's the feedback, or here are the questions. So that's another thing you can do. The finance committee meets more regularly in the fall. So starting right away, it can be August, can be September. The finance committee meets very regularly to start working on the proposed budget with the superintendent and business administrator and the principal. And we start looking at what the proposed budget for the next fiscal year will look like. And whatever, involvement the school board might have in the, presenting that at school board meetings, what the proposed budget and the adopted budget would look like, and also, how we would present that to the budget committee. Yeah. Good, absolutely, thank you, good question.
And last year, that was done in the evening prior to this meeting. Do you foresee similar?
I think it's helpful for the board members to hold committee meetings before the school board meetings because, you're here already. And so to maximize that time, I know that sometimes both committees met at the same time because they were both very active in the fall. Academic Affairs meets a little differently because they meet and then, it's proposed first and second reading school board meetings, then they meet again. So they're more on a quarterly basis. Whereas finance, it's really more front-loaded the whole first half of the year, and then it goes all the way up to deliberative session. So that's really convenient for school board members to, just come up an hour or two earlier, depending. But they've also scheduled extra, meetings on other nights if that's more convenient. It's really up to you. Any other questions of mine? And I just want to add that, Sierra was so gracious in stepping up for this role, and, you're missing a member. You're going to add another member on who will need another budget. You'll need another person to fill the role on finance committee. So.
And you said there's no communication. Okay. All right, well, unfortunately for Rebecca, she's not here. So we had 2 people who had submitted letters about filling our vacancy. So we have each of them kind of get up and speak. Okay. Do we draw straws for who goes first, or?
We have her letter first, so.
Okay. All right, Beth, it sounds like you are up first.
Where should I go, and do I need a microphone?
That microphone, because this one is attached. Either.
Cool. I'll do both. Alright. I'm Beth. I am elected on the school board, and I'm nervous to start. My voice is shaky. I haven't been speaking in a while. And just before I forget, I would be interested in getting on the finance board if I am to something. So I'll go ahead and read my letter. As a recent Middleton resident, I became involved with local government. I am attending the deliberative session in February and other meetings this year. I've also been elected for the deputy treasurer position, which, if I get this, I will have to give up, but I have been involved. I recently learned the vacancy at the school board, and I believe I can make a meaningful difference by using the skills I have to support the continued involvement of our schools and community. I care deeply about how decisions are made and the impact that they have on our town. And I believe my professional experience shapes how I approach those decisions. So I work as a software engineer, and I build internal applications for people who work at my job. It's a complex job that requires translating. I build internal applications that require translating complex real-world processes into clear structured systems. This often involves working with people from different backgrounds, understanding their needs, and turning their information into something practical and usable. When problem solving, I focus on understanding root causes rather than just addressing the surface level issues. I work to find solutions that are sustainable over the long term. I'm comfortable navigating situations that have competing priorities, and I make a point to carefully consider different perspectives before making decisions. At times, that means explaining why certain constraints exist or prioritizing broader organizational needs over
vote and then ask questions to both of them. Let's do both of them. That's what I was thinking. All right, Joe, do you wanna, say anything?
I don't think I need a microphone, but I'll take it anyhow, just in case somebody can't hear me. Joe Bailey, I have been here in town for almost 25 years. I have previously served as a selectman for 7 years, chairman of the rec committee for 8+ years. I was the liaison to the fire department, police department, budget committee. I don't think the zoning board, and I didn't the highway department, but so basically that's my service here in town. I'm interested in serving as a school board member. So my background is I've been in the propane gas business all my life. I have been a manager for out in Arizona, New Mexico for one of the largest gas companies in the United States, Ferro Gas, as a manager. And I have to tell you, my senior year in high school, I was a dropout. 12th grade, January, out the door, went to work. I've been working ever since. It wasn't until about 2010, I actually got hired by a company, and my boss told me that get your GED. And the incentive was, this is your salary maxed out. This is what I'm going to give you. Get your GED, you get your money. So I got the GED. Okay? But I have had the opportunity of being able to run multi-million-dollar gas companies in the course of my career. Ferro Gas out in Arizona, Irving here in New England, and Heritage Operating, which is the largest gas supplier as of 2015. So, I mean, budgets and all this stuff is not a big thing, okay? It's just a matter how you interpret it and how you want to deal with it. So, and I'm happy to answer any questions you got. Good, Mr. Edmund.
Joe, you had said that you were interested in running the next time around. If we were to pick that, would you still plan on running or no?
That's not what he said.
I'm sorry.
And Scott Ferguson, right?
Yeah. So, look, I know Scott served on the school board before, and he's experienced in doing so. And to make the transition easier for the school board now, where he has experience, if he had the time to do it, it would be smart to have him on the school board. But his job and stuff like that, he doesn't have the time at this point to do it. So I figured I would, put my name in for the position as well.
Okay.
So.
I guess my question is, were you just looking to do it for the interim 10 months, or were you looking to do it for the 10 months and then maybe beyond?
Well, at this point, I would do the intern, yes, but the future, that's a 2-year position or 1 year?
No, it would only be one, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
You're appointed until the 1 year.
Or you would be
Yeah,
appointed
yeah,
until the vote
okay,
next
that's
month.
right, so Mark, you have to vote, right.
to fill the end of the term.
Okay.
Heather's term, which would be.
So,
March 9th, 2027.
right.
Thank
So,
you.
You're very welcome.
that's how it works, basically, they'll be up until the next election. So, then run again.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I wanted to ask back a similar question. Would you be interested in running?
yeah,
No.
Absolutely.
We plan on being in Middleton long term, and I would like to be able to invest in the community. We plan on having children here and raising them here, so I would like to be a part of that.
Does anyone want to make a motion?
I would make a motion to appoint Joe for the open seat, just because he has more experience with the budget, and budgeting wise, and he's been on committees, and I know that Beth is the deputy, and I know that she's already started doing work behind the scenes, and I would hate to lose that asset there too, so my vote would be to appoint Joe for the vacant seat.
Did you want to say something?
Yeah, so Roby's also, he's the treasurer.
Right.
So he's been doing the work on this as well.
Okay.
So you wouldn't lose the same, you still have that.
I will second Sierra's motion. I also like the amount of experience that Joe has, and there's a lot of people kind of coming in, and we need a little bit of experience.
Yeah.
So, do we want to take a vote? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, all in favor of appointing Joe Bailey to the school board? All right. Congratulations or condolences.
You guys just stepped in it.
Good luck.
Nicole, have
You want me to do it right now?
Yeah.
And then
then,
you guys hold on there with you guys?
yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
All right, Joe, you're coming with me.
Oh my God, you're gonna swear at me?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So you're gonna raise your right hand and repeat after me. Joseph, right?
Joseph H. Bailey.
Okay. I, Joseph H. Bailey,
I, Joseph H. Bailey,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will bear faith and true allegiance to the United States of America
I bear true faith and allegiance to the United States of America
and the state of New Hampshire,
and the state of New Hampshire,
and will support the constitutions thereof.
and support the constitutions thereof.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Joseph Bailey,
I, Joseph Bailey,
do solemnly and sincerely swear
do solemnly and sincerely swear
and affirm that I will faithfully and impartially
faithfully affirm to
affirm that I will faithfully and impartially
affirm
I will faithfully and impartially
Okay, I swear and affirm that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the performance of all duties incumbent to me as school board member for the term of 11 months according to the best of my abilities and really to the rules and regulations of the Constitution and laws of the state of New Hampshire, so help me God. That's enough.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, and I'll have you sign it too as well.
And then you can sit up here, Phil.
And then you sit up there. And then the thing is,
Congratulations. For advanced planning, we have no school on Memorial Day, 5/25. Our next school board meeting is scheduled for June 10th at 6 o'clock. The Kingswood High School graduation is scheduled for June 12th with a rain date of June 13th. And the last day of school will be June 17th. Yes, May 14th. And our night will be tomorrow for Middleton Elementary at 5:30. Is there anything else, Ivy, that you wanted to add? Okay. Is there any other public input?
Of course there is.
Go ahead.
Have you signed any bills for special ed?
Nothing has been signed today.
Is there any to be signed specifically for special ed?
I would say I have to look through them.
And I just want to say, thank you to Ivy for working with the rep for helping us hold our craft fair here on Saturday, 11 to 4, and we have about 60 vendors. So I appreciate your help with that.
Go ahead, Teresa.
Well, we have our treasurer here. Is your electronic signature on file with the
It is
district?
not.
It is not.
So I will be going every other Thursday.
That is amazing. I
Yeah.
congratulate you on that. Really, the town has needed that for a long time. I do have to point out, I was in here February or March, I can't remember, and I had spoke to regards with the tone of the board towards the public. I noticed it again tonight. I'm gonna say this board is consistently inconsistent. It's the only board that does not interact with the public. Yet tonight you broke protocol, and I've noticed some people have to get up at a podium. Some people have to speak in a microphone. Other people can speak from their chairs. Some people have to say their names. Other people don't have to say their names. It's just inconsistency creates an environment of non-transparency. I don't know why you guys do that, if it's the SAU that's dictating it. You have talked about the school board association saying that you can't speak to people, but I am imploring you, especially Sierra and Joe, our new members, if you could individually talk to talk to the public as board members. I know Jim Keegan came in here on March 13th and asked all the board members individually, because that was a very emotional night, how you felt regarding the budget, and if you thought that Middleton taxpayers wanted to hurt the students of this community with the budget. None of you spoke. And the chair said, you'll get your answer next month. When that written answer came out, it was said that we don't, personal feelings are irrelevant. To that I would say they're not. Candidates go to candidates night, we ask questions, we want your feeling on how you see the school budget, the taxpayers. So you are 5 individuals that are supposed to be bringing your thoughts, opinions, your experience, your education to the board to create a unanimous community answer for things. I would implore you to change your tactics for the next meeting going forward and allowing public members to raise their hand and engage with them. It makes for a much more harmonious meeting, and I think that we all want the same thing. We want our community to be moving forward, and you would do that. Okay, my 2 thoughts.
Can I say something? Okay. I just want to point out, Tracy, that when Mr. Keegan did ask that question, it was Sam and I that answered the question, so it wasn't all of us that.
I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
We
And I watched the video again today, and I didn't hear you, but I did hear Rebecca say that you would get your answer in a month.
Yes, that was also stated.
NHSBA training was brought up. Would the board be interested in inviting in NHSBA like you did last year, considering you have new members? I think we had positive feedback from the community and from the members when the executive director came in at one of the meetings. It could be during a regularly scheduled meeting, or you could have a special training meeting.
I mean, I think it's a good idea. What do you guys think?
As a new member last year, I really appreciated it. I'm all for it. I've also done the new member training on their webinar and their budget finance training. So the more training, the merrier.
Yeah. I've been to a number of those too, but it's useful stuff. You could ask him if he's willing and when would be the time.
You are members, so
Yeah.
if you make a motion to
Okay.
have a training, then I would absolutely support them.
Okay. Do you guys want to do it during the meeting or should we have it at a separate time?
Personally, I like it during the meeting because that way the community has the opportunity to see, to learn through that training as well, so they know what our expectations are and so they understand why we're looking.
So if he's not available, I'll just keep giving him your next meeting dates. That makes sense?
Yeah.
June, if he can't do that, I'll give him your August meeting.
I'm okay with that. Okay, so should I make a motion or you guys?
I'll make a motion to invite the New Hampshire School Board Association in for training. I'll second the motion.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. I think we were done, but did anybody else have any more? Okay. Closing comments by board members, does anybody have anything? Okay, congratulations. And we want to thank Beth for writing the absolutely awesome letter. It was really awesome. And for standing up there because that is really scary. And so thank you. And congratulations to you. And
the fourth grade presentations.
Yeah.
The volcanoes were cool. I hear about them all the time. It's nice to hear about the explosions, so.
yeah.
Yeah.
The volcanoes.
Yeah.
I love
Great
the
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say I'm going to do I'll do the best to get up to speed as fast as I can on all this stuff like that. So be a lot more productive on the future meetings here, so. Bear with me and I'll get there.
You can join the budget thing. That's on Monday.
Is there no?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you going to choose a second for financials and whatever tonight?
That's a good question. No, I know. Okay. Does anybody have any nominations for somebody to be the second on either the finance committee or, you guys had, well, there were two last year for the budget committee, but they didn't both sit. One of them was alternate, right? Is that how it worked? One of them was alternate?
Yeah, you have your main, and then the second one's that, like, the backup. So like if I can't go, then the next person would fill in for that meeting and bring on information that week.
Okay.
At least that's how I understand it. Yeah.
Okay, so we had one and then an alternate for the budget committee, and then there would be two for the finance committee.
I thought those were.
They're the same, yeah, it's
same too?
Yeah, so whoever joins the finance committee with me will also do the budget committee as well.
Okay.
Being the new guy, I'll step up.
Thank you.
I just make somebody else say it.